Hello everyone, welcome to Ignition.
Hello, thanks for tuning in again. Today we're going to show you how to fit some front shocks to a Mitsubishi L200.
Right, who's going to start then?
Well, we are fitting these sexy bad boys. So these are our new Terrafirma shocks. This is a 2003
L200
Mitsubishi. Now, as far as we're aware, they're probably the originals.
The originals, they are knackered.
Yeah, we've been told they're knackered, and we know they're knackered, so we're going to change them for these quite sexy Terrafirma ones. Should we have a little peek in the box?
I think we should.
So they are looking very nicely bubble wrapped. So I do think it's going to look quite nice. It's going to look quite nice. So as you saw in the other one, we've done a little bit of detailing, nothing too dramatic. We're going to finish it off at a later date for as far as the cleaning's concerned. But we're too excited. We want to get these in. Yeah. So let's show you what the tools you need. Then you can watch us do it.
Okay, so the tools you're going to need, obviously safety first, gloves and glasses for me. I've only got one pair of eyes, don't want to lose them, do we?
Oh, no, I can't see with the ones I've got, so I need glasses and safety glasses.
So, you need two 14mm spanners.
And you're going to need
117mm socket.
Now, if you've got a electric device as we have here, it's going to make life a little bit easier, but you don't need it.
No, you can
if you've got some guns, I haven't, he has.
I have a bit.
So what we're going to do is, it's a very, very simple task, and that's why two simpletons are doing it.
Yes.
So it's a removal of the bolt at the base, and on this particular one there are two nuts, so you've got to snap them off
at the same time.
And we'll get some close-up shots of before while we do it, and let's just get this done.
Okay, so here we are. Here's the top bolt of the shock here. This is the shock itself. Now this is fairly straightforward. It's just two bolts. You need two 14mm, as we said. If you have a bit of trouble with the shock spinning, you can grip hold of the top here if you want to. I did the trick. So that one was very tight, but it's off. So one piece of advice, if you can and have some penetrating fluid, soak it the day before.
Which we did.
We did. As you can see, it didn't quite eat down to the, there's a bit of corrosion here. So that would be nice to replace. And there we are, second bolt's off. Okay, so here's the lower bolt. Now we're going to use our impact wrench here to undo this side. And now I'm going to use a very small hammer just to tap it out. And I've got a little pusher here which I'll tap to help get that bolt out. There we are. Okay, now here's the fun bit, we get to take it out. So we're just going to slip the bottom piece out, it comes out fairly easy for us. And then the top comes out, and it's just a little bit of wiggling through the other parts, and it's out, there it is. There's also one more piece which goes on the top here, and it's a bit stuck, there we are, it comes off like so. Okay, now before we put it on, the last thing we have to do is to install this boot to keep the dust and grime out of the shock here. So I'm going to take off these pieces. I'm going to put them in the order they come off, just so I can remember. Now all three of these do have to come off, the bolt and the two pieces. Now the instructions say just slide the boot over, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, now I think a technique I'm going to try here, as it's been a great difficulty getting this boot on, because this lip in here has to sit around the metal piece, but it's very, very difficult. So I'm going to try a little bit of silicone lube again, which should assist with the sliding on. Now my technique that I found was get it below, then once you get a piece on, like so, hang on, once that's on, hold it with the palm of your hand, now it's going to be difficult for you to see, and pinch that, and then just work your way around, pushing it up. And now it is quite tight, but the technique works. And there we are, just to seat the silicone around the top there. The last step is to just cable tie the boot on so it doesn't slide off on this end. Now they recommend putting the boot 2 bumps away from the end of the sort of chamber, but as we've now come to the conclusion, it gets rid of the T for the Terrafirma, so now we've got Errorfirma shocks. So we're just going to do what they say though. So that goes around there with a cable tie, and I'm going to make sure I do this up pretty tight because I don't want that boot coming off. Right, it's not going to get any tighter than that, so I'm just going to snip the cable tie off so it looks nice and clean.
And there's a shot of that if you so wish.
Yes.
So the Terrafirma shocks don't come with the bolts to sit through there, so we're going to reuse the old one, but just before we put it on we're just going to give them a little clean. We don't have anything particularly sophisticated, so I'm just going to wire brush them.
Okay, now here we are. You can see that my father's done a fantastic job of cleaning it.
Oh, thank you. I get the credit for it.
Yeah, you get
so
the
we've
credit.
taken the opportunity as we're clear. Obviously, this one had caked in mud, so we've got all of that off. We've greased the points while we've got easy access. Although it wasn't done that long ago, we thought we would do it as say access is there. Yes. Now this is obviously a much bigger shock, so it's going to be a little bit trickier to get in.
Yes, it can't go in this way as the girth, I suppose you'd say, is much bigger. So it's going to go in from the back here. The easiest way I think we'll find is to compress it a little bit when it comes up. So I'm going to get it up here. The bottom's gone in. Now I think what'll be easier here is if we can push this down, because it's in its holder now, so I can get all my pressure on it, and then it will just lift itself up, which the old shocks wouldn't do, so that's a massive positive here. And now we're going to get the bolt in and fit it all together. We were having difficulty getting the nut on because there wasn't enough thread, and we've come to the conclusion we thought that these black pieces here were sort of spacers welded on, but they're not. They are the original pieces, and they're so stuck and sort of they've welded themselves in there, we're risking damage by taking them off.
Yeah,
so
I think if we chisel those out, we could be in a world of hurt.
We could. So we're going to keep them in there. This side's got both. The other side has both as well. So we're going to keep them in there because we are risking damage. So we're going to still put the new rubber in and the top
but we're
piece.
We're
deleting this other piece by using the old piece.
Deleting the top and the bottom of that.
Yeah. So we've taken this gold. The gold is the new, the black is the old. And we've got the originals there, so I'm going to put that on. But we're going to also put some grease on. Now that's your job. You're going to get dirty, not me.
So bit of grease on there. Let's do this one a bit easier.
Yeah, dunk it in the pot.
Give it a good
greasing.
Doesn't matter which way it goes up, does it?
No, it doesn't.
We've got words on the top, so I think we'll go on the top. There we are.
And then he sits on there like that.
Nice. Normal grease on this one. My favourite. ZX1.
Yep.
Fantastic grease.
Right. So we're going to try and grip this small piece on the top here, which is going to be quite difficult as there's not much sticking out, but I think it's better than pliers. So we're going to use a pair of adjustable spanners to slide that over. Does the job. And now we're going to compress the rubber.
Okay, so we've gripped the top there, as you can see. If you don't grip it, the whole damper is going to spin. So there's no torque setting, or there's certainly no torque setting that we can find. So what we're doing is we're going for a tight fit plus half a turn, and we'll come back and look at it after we've test driven the vehicle. But these rubbers need to be able to have a little bit of give in them, but they need to be tight enough so that they don't physically move and grip. They just need to be able to compress very slightly as the suspension does its job. Although they call this red, for some reason in Portugal, stud grade is green.
Yes, Portugal's odd for that. Red thread locker's actually green. Very strange.
But we don't want that little devil coming out, so a little bit in the nut as well, just to make sure it's well and truly catered for. I think the term is waz that up, sir.
Okay. Perfection.
I think that, from a visual point of view, looks great. We've got to now give it an off-road test.
We do. I think it looks fantastic. I'm very excited to get it down.
And now all we've got to do is the other side.
We do.
And we won't subject you to watching us struggle with that in full time. You've seen everything. We'll let you watch us speed it up.
I could feel the trails walking over.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up, aren't we?
I need a bath.
I need a coffee.
Well, you see, there's the difference between us. I've just got to get myself clean. No. So, hopefully that's helped you. As we said, we're no experts. This is the first time I've ever done it. And it actually is a very, very easy task. The instructions that came with the shocks, obviously there weren't any, really.
It was just telling us to cable tie the boot on, that's all it said.
We've looked up everything that we needed to know, but it's a great addition for the vehicle. Ours were in a bad way. So.
Oh, they weren't, well, it was pointless, I'm afraid. In fact, I'll show them. Here you are, look, they're fully compressed, zero rebound on those whatsoever. They don't even, there we are, they're out. So
yeah, the vehicle, joking apart, when we were getting this, because you wanted it, I thought this would drive terribly, but actually, considering how bad things are, it drove really well. Yeah, so I'm intrigued to see the difference, and you'll get to see the difference with us when we get to road test it, but we've got a shed load more work to do, we'll wrap it up here, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our... what do we call it?
I don't even know what to call it.
No, we don't even know what to call it, but we're enjoying ourselves, and that's all that matters, isn't it?
Yep, so drop a like, please subscribe, and comment anything you like.
We'll see you in the next one.
We will.